Your Excellency, I just wanted to excuse my sister C.S. Wahome and tell her also, for the avoidance of doubt, we shall all be waking up early. And Your Excellency, you know I have also confessed to you, I have a problem with sleeping early and a bigger one, waking up early. Lakini unaona, hata nikiamka kama nimechelewa, ninakimbia mbio, ili nisichelewe mkutano hata mimi. Kila mtu achunge kazi yake, venye the truthful man Rigiji alisema. Na kwa hayo machache, kwa heshima, nataka nichukue nafasi hii, nimkaribishe speaker wetu wa Senate, ambaye wakiwa na Governor Kahiga walichelewa kidogo, for the avoidance of doubt. Saa ya service ilikuwa ni 10:30 a.m. Karibu speaker.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Rigiji, Mama Pastor Dorcas, allow me to go by the protocols as observed. Your Excellency, this being a Thanksgiving service, allow me to personally give thanks to God for bringing me to Nyeri. My good friend Kimani Ichungwah has just said we walked in here late with my brother, the governor. Your Excellency, I've never been scared today riding a chopper to Nyeri. We lifted from Wilson Airport, hoping that will take a journey of 40 minutes. But we ended up taking over 1 hour because of the poor visibility. And at some point, I was really scared up there. And the history of choppers in this country, especially the month of August, did not help. The pilot kept on going in circles, finding a route. At some point, we even had to go backwards to reroute so that we can be able to land safely. And that's why we came late, but we thank God He's brought us safe and sound. Your Excellency, in the Senate, there's a young senator, the senator for Kiambu, Senator Karungo Thangwa. Every time I give this senator an opportunity to speak in the Senate, he will conclude his remarks, his statement with, I am Senator Karungo Thangwa of Kiambu, the miracle senator. Your Excellency, having heard the speakers who spoke here before me, given the journey that you have followed, that you've gone through to become the president of this country, I can dare say today, indeed, you're a miracle president. Many never believed. And I said sometimes when in Kwale last week, the presidents of this country, that those who believe that the presidents of this country is a preserve of a few big names, and therefore a nobody in this country can ever ascend to the office of being called the President of the Republic of Kenya. But here you are. No big name. If you look at your three names, no big name is there. When you're campaigning, all obstacles are placed before you. But today you're here kwa sababu kuna Mungu aishie. Your Excellency, if you read 1 Samuel 16, the story of the sons of Jesse, when Samuel was sent to pick a king from that family, he did not bother. Jesse did not even bother with the lastborn. The first thing he did was to parade the first 7. But Samuel said, none of this is the anointed one. That boy who was in the field looking after the animals, that is the boy that Samuel said, call him here. And this is the one that the Lord has anointed. Nobody knew that a Kenyan bearing no big name as his surname will ever lift the Bible and swear that he is the president of this great nation. Your Excellency, you are indeed a miracle president. And because you're a miracle president, your presidency is not going to be smooth. Because the very same people who believe that the president is a preserve of big names, they are still in shock. They cannot believe you're indeed the president, and they'll fight you. Many obstacles will be placed on your way. The recent happenings have got nothing to do with the economy of this country. Absolutely nothing to do with the economy of this country. Because the economy of this country, the cost of living of Kenyans did not worsen by William Ruto becoming the president of this country. In fact, it became worse during their reign. They did nothing about it. So they're using it just as an excuse, because they're yet to believe, indeed, that a son of a nobody, a boy who started his business by selling chicken, today is the president of this great nation. Kwa hivyo rais, hii maandamano unaona, wasitudanganye, ni visababu. Manake mwanzo hawajakubali na hawatakubali. We want you and we pray for you, Mr. President, to ruthlessly focus on the plan. That plan that you sold to Kenyans. Because the only thing that made you be elected as the president is the plan that you presented to Kenyans. Hii mambo yote inafanyika ni kukutoa katika macho yako kwenye utekelezaji wa ile ruwaza yako, so that waanze kupigana nao, miaka 5 iishe na hujafanya chochote. Mr. President, stay focused on that plan. The cost of living of this country, the cost of living of Kenyans, will not be lowered by people going to the streets. The cost of living in this country will never be lowered by 2 men sitting in a room discussing. But the cost of living in this country will be lowered if the president is allowed to implement fully his plan. That is the only way. Haya mambo mengine Waswahili wanasema ni hadithi za abunuwasi. Ndugu yangu Ichungwah amepatiwa jukumu la kuchuana na wale wengine. Your Excellency, I don't want to be a prophet of doom. I've never been. But I've been in this space long enough to observe something. Nothing will come out of these cold talks. But something will come out from this plan that the president has. look at the issues that are supposed to be discussed. IBC, the office of the official opposition, 2/3 gender rule. I mean, if you ask the president, he'll tell you. Immediately Osonin, he wrote a memorandum to the two speakers, me and my brother Wetangula here. And those are the very same issues that are now pending in both houses of parliament. So then, why should this become an agenda of discussion outside parliament? We are already fixing them. We are fixing IBC. In fact, in the Senate, there is a pending bill on the issue of the 2/3 gender rule. Do we need people to sit somewhere using taxpayers' money to discuss something that members of parliament are already seized of? Your Excellency, I was pretty shocked. Your Excellency, I know my time is up. The only way we can lower the cost of living is to have farmers stay in the farm. To have our businesses stay open, especially during this rainy season. Now, instead of allowing our farmers to stay in the farm, you're telling them every week for 3 days, don't go to your farm, go to the streets. When are we ever going to have food in this country? How are you going to grow the economy if you're telling all the matatu drivers to down their keys for 3 days every week? Mama mboga asiende sokoni siku 3 kwa wiki. How are we going to grow the economy? Mimi nashangaa kwamba kofia sasa, sufuria ndio imekuwa kofia sasa. Lakini Mungu amewajibu. In the coming few days, we're going to have such a bounty harvest. There'll be no single sufuria available. Not even one sufuria will be available for them to put in their heads, because all sufurias in this country will be full of food because of an agenda that the president implemented. Kuwapatia wakulima pembejeo, farm inputs, a program of the president to lower the cost of living. That is the way we are supposed to go as a country, and that is the way the president is taking us. Allow me 1 minute, Ichungwah, to discuss the Finance Act, because imeleta kero sana na inatumika kupeleka watu maandamano. Mr. President, a great leader will never lead his people to where they want to go. A great leader will lead his people to where they're supposed to go. When you took over the reign of this government, I remember our first meeting in Karen, and we were told, as a country, we inherited only 90 million Kenya shillings in cash. As a country, the debt portfolio was worrying. As a president, you could have decided to go the popular way. Let me not tax, because if you tax people, you're going to be unpopular. But looking at the balance sheet, you said the only way we can stay afloat as a country is to broaden the tax base, which you did. Na hilo ndo watu wakaanza kupigana. Rais, kuna ugonjwa wa majipu. Na mgonjwa ambaye anaugua jipu, ikiwa ni apone, You have to squeeze the boil till there's something that will come out like rice. Kule pwani tunaita moyo wa jipu. Ukicheza na ile jipu kulipapasa, yule mgonjwa hatapona. By the time you're squeezing that boil, yule mgonjwa hata kukuuma atakuuma. Hata kofi anaweza kukupiga. Lakini siku akipona, he'll come back to you and hug you and tell you, thank you for squeezing this boil. Today, Your Excellency, you're squeezing that boil. Watu watapiga kelele. Usiachilie. Watu wataandamana. Usiachilie. Watu watakutukana. Usiachilie. Paka ile moyo ya jipu itoke. Baada ya miaka kidogo chini, Kenyans will be celebrating you. Kenyans will be appreciating you because the economy will now be on a sound trajectory. Today, they'll call you all sorts of names. Zakayo. Take it. Lakini usiachilie kukamua ilo jipu. Because at the end of this tunnel, when Kenyans see the light and the prosperity of this economy, they will appreciate you and they will be there to hug you. Kwa hayo mengi au machache, Mwenyezi Mungu atubariki. Asanteni sana.
Asante Speaker wetu wa Senate. Mheshimiwa Rais, nikubalie nimwalike Speaker wetu wa Bunge la Kitaifa National Assembly, Speaker Moses Wetangula aka Papa wa Roma.